everyone, and welcome back to the Easivia English podcast. This is the place where learning English is always easy, very natural, and most importantly, fun. My name is Jenny.
And hello, everyone. My name is Jack. It is so wonderful to be here with you all today. Hi, Jenny. How are you feeling on this beautiful day?
Hi, Jack. I am doing very well, thank you. Actually, I am feeling a little bit tired today, but also very happy.
Tired but happy? That is an interesting combination, Jenny. Why are you tired and why are you happy?
Well, I am tired because we had a very long and busy week at work. We recorded many podcast episodes and I spent a lot of hours in front of my computer. So my eyes are tired and my brain is tired. But I am happy because tomorrow is Saturday. The weekend is finally here.
Ah, yes, now I understand completely. Friday afternoon is always a great time. We are tired from the work week, but we are so excited for the weekend. The weekend means free time, relaxation, and doing things we love.
Exactly, Jack. And that brings us perfectly to our topic for today's episode. Today, we are going to talk all about weekend routines. We usually talk about daily routines like what we do on Monday or Tuesday, but Saturday and Sunday are very different.
Yes, they are. A routine is something you do regularly, like a habit. Most people have a strict routine for the weekdays. We wake up at the same time, we go to work, we come home. But on the weekend, our routines change. Today, Jenny and I are going to share our personal weekend routines. We will talk about what we do from Friday night all the way to Sunday night. This is a super useful topic for English learners. When you meet someone new or when you talk to a friend, a very common question is, what did you do this weekend? Or what are your plans for the weekend? By listening today, you will learn so many great verbs, time expressions, and vocabulary words to answer those questions. That is so true. Before we begin our big conversation, I want to remind all our listeners to please like this video, share it with your friends who are also learning English, and subscribe to the Easivia English channel. When you subscribe, you will never miss a new lesson. It helps our channel grow, and we really appreciate your support.
Yes, please subscribe. We love reading your comments and seeing our community grow. Okay, Jack, are you ready to dive into the weekend? Let's start from the very beginning. Let's talk about Friday night. When does your weekend officially begin?
That is a great question. For me, the weekend officially begins at 5 p.m. on Friday. At exactly 5 p.m., I turn off my computer at the office, I say goodbye to my coworkers, and I walk to my car.
So you drive home. Is the traffic bad on Friday evenings?
Oh yes, the traffic is usually terrible on Friday evenings. Everyone is trying to get home at the exact same time. It takes me about 45 minutes to drive home. But I don't mind the traffic on Fridays. I turn on the radio, I listen to some loud, happy music, and I sing in my car. It is my way to decompress.
Decompress? That is a very good word. Let's explain that to our listeners.
Sure. To decompress means to relax and let go of the stress from work. It means changing your feeling from busy and stressed to calm and relaxed. Driving and singing helps me decompress. What about you, Jenny? What is your Friday evening routine?
My Friday evening is a little different. I also finish work at 5 p.m., but I don't drive. I take the bus. The bus is also very crowded on Fridays. People are talking loudly, and sometimes it is a little crazy. So I put on my headphones, I listen to a quiet, relaxing podcast or an audiobook. I close my eyes on the bus and just breathe. Exactly. I order takeout. Sometimes I use an app on my phone to order Thai food or maybe some sushi. While I wait for the food to arrive, I change my clothes. I take off my work clothes and I put on my most comfortable sweatpants and a big loose t-shirt. Comfort is the most important thing on Friday night.
I agree 100%. Comfort is key. My Friday night dinner is also very easy. I love pizza. Every Friday night, it is a tradition in my house to have pizza. I order a large pizza with pepperoni and mushrooms.
Pepperoni and mushroom pizza sounds delicious. So you have your pizza and I have my Thai food. What do we do next? What is your evening activity on Friday?
After eating, my wife and I sit on the sofa. We don't want to think about anything complicated. We usually watch a movie. Sometimes it is a comedy because we want to laugh, or sometimes it is an action movie. We just sit together, eat popcorn, and relax. I usually feel very sleepy by 10:30 p.m., so I go to bed pretty early, even on a Friday.
Really? You go to bed at 10:30 p.m. on a Friday? You are an early bird, Jack.
Yes, I am. An early bird is someone who likes to wake up early and go to bed early. I have always been an early bird. I love the morning time.
Are you a night owl, Jenny? Yes, I am definitely a night owl. A night owl is a person who loves to stay up late at night. On Friday night, I usually stay awake until midnight, sometimes even 1 a.m. I like the quiet of the night. After I eat my dinner, I don't watch movies. I usually read a book or I write in my journal. It is my private, quiet time.
That sounds lovely. But if you go to bed at 1 a.m., what time do you wake up on Saturday morning? This is the best part of the weekend. Let's move on to Saturday morning. Well, because I go to bed so late, I sleep in on Saturday morning.
Sleep in. Listeners, this is a very, very common and useful phrase. Jenny, can you explain what it means to sleep in?
Of course. To sleep in means to sleep later than you usually do. During the week, Monday to Friday, my alarm clock rings at 6:30 a.m. I have to wake up. But on Saturday, I do not set an alarm. I turn my alarm clock off. I let my body sleep until it wants to wake up. Usually, I sleep in until 9:30 a.m. or sometimes even 10 a.m. It is a wonderful feeling.
10 a.m. Wow! If I sleep until 10 a.m., I feel like I missed half of the day. Because I go to bed early on Friday, I wake up naturally around 6:30 a.m. on Saturday. No alarm clock, my eyes just open.
That is amazing to me. What do you do at 6:30 in the morning on a Saturday?
I love it. The house is completely quiet. The sun is just starting to come up. First, I go to the kitchen and I make a very fresh, strong pot of coffee. The smell of coffee in the morning makes me so happy. I pour a cup of coffee, I walk out to my garden, and I just sit. I listen to the birds singing, I look at the trees. I don't look at my phone, I don't look at emails. It is my favorite 30 minutes of the whole week.
That sounds like a beautiful routine, Jack. It sounds very mindful and calm.
It is. After my coffee, I like to be active. I put on my running shoes and I go for a run around my neighborhood. I run for about 45 minutes. The cool morning air feels great. When I get back home, I take a hot shower and then I am ready for breakfast. What about you, Jenny? When you finally wake up at 10 a.m., what is your morning routine?
When I wake up, I take my time. I get out of bed slowly. I stretch my arms and legs. Then I go to the bathroom to wash my face and brush my teeth. I also need coffee, just like you. But on Saturday morning, I spend a lot of time cooking breakfast. During the work week, breakfast is just a quick piece of toast or a banana. I eat it while I run to the bus. But on Saturday, breakfast is an event.
An event? What do you cook?
I like to make pancakes. Sometimes I make banana pancakes or blueberry pancakes. I fry some bacon so it is nice and crispy. I also make scrambled eggs. I put everything on a big plate, I pour some maple syrup on the pancakes, and I sit at my dining table. I put on some soft jazz music. I eat slowly, I drink my coffee, and I usually read a magazine. It takes me almost an hour to enjoy my breakfast.
Wow, that is a feast. A feast is a very large and special meal. That sounds incredibly delicious, Jenny. So by the time you finish your amazing breakfast, it is probably almost 11:30 a.m.? The morning is gone.
Yes, exactly. Saturday morning goes by very fast for me. And then we have to talk about Saturday afternoon. Usually, Saturday afternoon is the time for chores.
Chores. Let's spell that word for our listeners. C-H-O-R-E-S. Chores. Chores are the regular tasks you have to do to keep your house clean and organized. Things like cleaning, washing, and fixing things. Nobody loves chores, but everybody has to do them.
That's right. I usually dedicate about 2 hours on Saturday afternoon to chores. First, I do the laundry. I gather all my dirty clothes from the week, I separate the dark clothes and the white clothes, and I put them in the washing machine. While the washing machine is running, I vacuum the floors. I vacuum the living room, the bedroom, and the rugs. Then I clean the bathroom. I wipe the mirrors and clean the sink. It is hard work, but I feel so good when my apartment is clean.
Yes, a clean house makes your mind feel clean too. I completely understand that feeling. My Saturday afternoon is also for chores, but slightly different chores. I live in a house with a yard, so I have to do yard work.
What kind of yard work do you do?
Well, I have to cut the grass.
In English, we say mow the lawn. I use a lawnmower to cut the grass so it looks neat. Then I might water the plants and pull out some weeds. After the yard work, I usually have to run errands. Run errands. That is another fantastic phrase for our listeners. Let's explain it. Running errands means going out to different places to do small jobs. For example, going to the bank, going to the post office to send a package, or taking clothes to the dry cleaner. On Saturday afternoon, I usually drive around my town running errands. My final errand is always grocery shopping. I go to the supermarket to buy all the food, vegetables, and household items we need for the next week.
Grocery shopping can be a very big chore. Do you make a list before you go?
Oh, yes, I always write a shopping list. If I don't write a list, I will forget to buy milk, but I will buy 5 boxes of cookies. A list is very important.
That is so true. Oh wait, I forgot one thing about my Saturday afternoon. Sometimes if the weather is really nice, I like to visit the local farmer's market before I do my chores.
A farmer's market? That sounds interesting. What do you usually buy there?
I buy fresh fruit, like strawberries and apples, directly from the farmers who grew them. The food is so fresh, and it tastes much better than the food in the big supermarket. They also sell beautiful flowers. I usually buy a small bunch of yellow or pink flowers for my dining table.
That is a wonderful habit. Having fresh flowers in the house makes the weekend feel special and bright. Since we are talking about nice weather, I also have a special sunny Saturday activity. Sometimes, instead of doing yard work, I wash my car.
You wash your car yourself? You don't take it to the automatic car wash?
No, I do it myself in my driveway. I get a big bucket of soapy water, a large sponge, and a hose. I wash the windows, the doors, and the wheels. It takes about an hour and a half. It is a little bit like a workout because you have to move your arms a lot, but it is very satisfying to see the car shiny and clean when I finish.
That is very true. Doing things with your own hands is very rewarding. Now, after all that hard work, washing cars and doing chores, it is finally Saturday evening. This is usually the time for socializing and having fun, right?
Absolutely. Saturday night is my favorite time to socialize. To socialize means to spend time with other people in a friendly way. On Saturday evening, my wife and I usually invite friends over to our house. We love to host dinner parties.
Hosting a dinner party sounds like a lot of work. What do you usually cook for your friends?
In the summer, we always have a barbecue. I start the grill in the backyard. We cook hamburgers, hot dogs, and maybe some chicken. Everyone brings something to share, like a big green salad or some sweet dessert. We sit outside on the patio, we eat, we drink some cold drinks, and we talk. We talk about our week, we share funny stories, and we laugh a lot. It is a great way to catch up with friends.
Catch up. That means to talk to someone you haven't seen for a while, to find out what is happening in their life. That sounds like a perfect Saturday night, Jack. Very warm and friendly.
Thank you. It really is. What is your Saturday night routine, Jenny? Do you prefer to stay home or go out?
I definitely prefer to go out on Saturday night. I live right in the center of the city, so there are always many exciting things to do. Around 7 p.m., I start getting ready. I take a shower, I do my hair, and I put on some nice clothes. Not boring work clothes, but fun, stylish clothes. Then I usually meet my best friends downtown.
Where do you go with your friends downtown?
We like to try new restaurants. Every Saturday, we pick a different place. Maybe an Italian restaurant to eat pasta one week and a Mexican restaurant for tacos the next week. We sit, we eat wonderful food, and we catch up, just like you. After dinner, we sometimes go to a big cinema to watch a new action movie on the big screen. Or if there's a good concert, we might go to listen to live music at a local cafe.
That sounds very exciting and energetic. City life on a Saturday night is always vibrant. What time do you usually get back home?
Usually around midnight. I take a taxi home to be safe. When I get in, I wash my face, change into my soft pajamas, and go straight to bed. I am usually very tired, but it is a good tired. I know I had a lot of fun.
That is a great Saturday. So now we wake up and it is Sunday. Sunday has a very different feeling from Saturday, doesn't it?
Oh, Sunday is completely different. Saturday is for high energy, chores, and fun. Sunday is for slowing down. Sunday is for resting your body and preparing your mind for the new week. My Sunday morning is very slow. I don't sleep in as late as Saturday. I usually wake up around 8:30 a.m.
And what is your routine on a slow Sunday morning?
I drink a large glass of water, and then I do some yoga in my living room. I roll out my blue yoga mat on the floor. I find a 30-minute yoga video on the internet. I stretch my muscles very slowly. It helps my body feel flexible. and it helps my mind feel calm and peaceful. After yoga, I take a warm shower. Then, around 11 a.m., I go out for brunch.
Brunch! Listeners, you must learn this word. Brunch is a very popular weekend activity in many English-speaking countries like the US, the UK, and Australia. Jenny, how do you explain the word brunch?
Brunch is a combination of two words, breakfast and lunch. BR from breakfast and UNCH from lunch. Brunch. It is a meal you eat late in the morning, usually between 10:30 a.m. and 1 p.m. It replaces both breakfast and lunch. You can eat breakfast food like eggs and toast, or you can eat lunch food like a chicken sandwich or a tomato salad. I usually meet one or two close friends for Sunday brunch at a small, quiet cafe near my house. We drink coffee and have a very relaxed conversation.
Brunch sounds wonderful. My Sunday morning is also very relaxing, but I don't go out for brunch. I wake up at my usual time, around 6:30 a.m. I have my coffee and read the Sunday newspaper. Sunday newspapers are very thick and have many pages, so it takes a long time to read. Around 9 a.m., my wife and I like to go for a long walk in the big park near our neighborhood.
A walk in the park is beautiful. Do you take your dog with you?
Yes, our dog loves Sunday mornings the most. We walk for about an hour or two. We look at the green trees, we see other people walking their dogs, and we watch the ducks in the pond. It is very peaceful. When we get home, we just make a simple turkey sandwich for lunch. Then comes Sunday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon. For me, Sunday afternoon is the time for hobbies and personal projects. What do you do?
I love to do DIY projects around the house. DIY stands for do it yourself. It means fixing things, building things, or painting things without paying a professional worker to do it. Last Sunday, I painted a wooden bookshelf in my garage. I put on some old clothes, turned on the radio, and spent 3 hours painting it white. I love working with my hands. If I don't have a DIY project, I will play my acoustic guitar in the living room. It is my favorite hobby in the world.
That is so cool, Jack. Playing the guitar is a great way to relax. My Sunday afternoon is a little more practical. I use my Sunday afternoon for something called meal prep.
Meal prep? That is short for meal preparation, right? What exactly do you do during meal prep?
Yes, meal preparation. Because I am very busy during the work week, I don't have time to cook healthy meals every single day. So on Sunday afternoon, I spend about 2 hours in the kitchen cooking for the whole week. I cook a large amount of white rice, I bake some chicken in the oven, and I chop a lot of green vegetables like broccoli and spinach. Then I put the food into small glass containers and put them in the refrigerator.
That is incredibly smart, Jenny. It saves you so much time and money during the week. You just take a container, heat it up in the microwave for 3 minutes, and you have a healthy lunch or dinner ready to eat.
Exactly. It makes my Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday so much easier. While I am cooking, I usually listen to a podcast, just like this one. After meal prep, I do another small chore. I iron my clothes for the week. I choose 5 nice outfits for work, I iron the shirts and pants, and I hang them neatly in my closet. By 5 p.m. on Sunday, I feel completely organized and ready for the week.
I admire your organization, Jenny. It really takes the stress out of Monday morning. Now, let's talk about Sunday evening. There is a specific feeling that many people get on Sunday evening. Sometimes people call it the Sunday scaries. Do you know what that means?
Oh, yes, I know the Sunday scaries very well. It is that feeling of anxiety or slight sadness that starts around 6 p.m. on Sunday. You realize the weekend is ending. You start thinking about your unread emails, your difficult meetings on Monday morning, and the stress of work returns to your brain. It is a very common feeling for adults.
It is very common. To fight the Sunday scaries, my Sunday evening routine is designed to be as relaxing as possible. I don't check my work emails on my phone. That is a strict rule in my house. No work emails on Sunday night.
That is a very healthy rule to follow.
Yes, I think so too. My wife and I have a light dinner, maybe some hot tomato soup and bread. Then the television is turned off. No noisy action movies, no negative news. The news can be very stressful. We just sit in the living room together. She reads a book, and I listen to some gentle classical music. Around 9:30 p.m., I take a warm bath. Not a quick shower, a long bath. Lying in the warm water helps all my tired muscles relax. By 10 p.m., I am in bed.
I read a few pages of a book, and I usually fall asleep quickly by 10:30 p.m. I want to wake up on Monday morning feeling 100% rested.
That sounds like a perfect way to end the week, Jack. My Sunday evening is very similar to yours. I try to create a very calm and quiet environment. I light a scented candle in my bedroom, usually a lavender scent because the smell of lavender naturally helps you sleep better. I also drink a hot cup of chamomile tea, which is very good for deep relaxation.
Chamomile tea is excellent for sleep. Do you watch TV on Sunday night while you drink your tea?
Sometimes. If there is a very gentle, quiet nature documentary about animals or the ocean, I might watch it, but usually I prefer to read. I read a novel, something fiction, to take my mind far away from reality and work. I also do one more thing. I write a quick to-do list for Monday morning, just 3 or 4 important things I need to remember to do at the office. Writing them on a piece of paper helps get them out of my brain, so I don't worry about them while I sleep.
That is a fantastic tip for our listeners. Writing things down really helps clear the mind. And what time is lights out for you on Sunday?
On Sunday night, I force myself to be an early bird. I turn the lights out by 10:30 p.m. at the latest. I need my full 8 hours of sleep to face Monday morning with a smile.
Wow, Jenny, we just walked through the entire weekend hour by hour, from the Friday night takeout to the Sunday night chamomile tea. It is so interesting how we both love the weekend, but we spend it in such different ways.
Yes! You are an early bird who loves DIY projects, yard work, washing cars, and barbecues. I am a night owl who loves to sleep in, go out downtown, visit farmers markets, and do meal prep. But both routines are wonderful because they help us rest and recharge.
To recharge, like a cell phone battery. During the week, our battery goes down, and the weekend is the time to plug in and recharge our energy. That is a great word. Before we finish today's podcast and review our vocabulary, I want to share a very quick grammar tip for our English learners. It is about a very common mistake people make when they talk about this topic.
Grammar tips are always helpful. What is the common mistake, Jenny?
It is about the little preposition we use with the word weekend. Many students translate directly from their own language and say in the weekend. For example, I play sports in the weekend. But in English, that is incorrect.
Ah, yes. The prepositions in, on, and at can be very tricky for beginners. So what is the correct way to say it?
If you are learning American English, you should say on the weekend. For example, I play tennis on the weekend. Or what are you doing on the weekend?
Exactly. And if you are learning British English, you will often hear people say at the weekend. For example, I visit my parents at the weekend. Both on the weekend and at the weekend are perfectly correct, depending on where you are traveling or who you are talking to. But in the weekend is definitely wrong.
Yes, so please remember that, everyone. Choose on or at, but please do not use in. Okay, now let's do a very quick review of the important vocabulary words we used today. This will help our listeners remember them forever. Jack, do you want to start? Certainly. First, we talked about the verb to decompress. That means to relax and relieve all your stress after a long day of work. Then we have the word takeout. That is prepared food you order from a restaurant to eat comfortably at home. Next is the phrase early bird. An early bird is a person who naturally wakes up early in the morning and feels energetic. Good. Then I mentioned the opposite, a night owl. A night owl is a person who likes to stay awake late into the night. We also talked a lot about sleeping in. To sleep in means to sleep later than your usual alarm time in the morning. And chores. Chores are the regular, sometimes boring tasks you must do to clean and organize your house, like washing dishes or sweeping the floor.
We also use the phrase run errands. Running errands means going out to places like the bank, the post office, or the supermarket to do small, necessary jobs. And the verbs to hang out or to socialize. This means spending free time with your friends in a very relaxed and friendly way. And please, don't forget brunch. Brunch is the late morning meal that combines breakfast and lunch together.
And finally, we talked about meal prep, which means cooking and preparing food in advance for the whole week. And the Sunday scaries, that heavy feeling of worry or anxiety on Sunday night just before the new work week begins. That is a lot of great vocabulary, Jack.
It really is. We hope all of you listening have enjoyed this deep dive into our weekend routines. Practice these words by writing down your own routine in a notebook at home. Yes, and that brings us to the end of today's episode. But before you leave, we want to hear from you. We have a question for you to answer in the comment section below this video. Here's the question for today. Are you an early bird like me or a night owl like Jenny? And what is one thing you must do every single weekend to feel happy?
Please write your answers in English in the comments. Don't worry about making mistakes. This is a safe and friendly place to practice. We love reading your stories, and we will try to reply to as many comments as we possibly can.
Thank you all so much for spending your valuable time with us today. Remember to subscribe to the Easivia English channel, hit the like button, and share this podcast with your friends who are studying English.
Have a wonderful, relaxing, and happy weekend, everyone. We will see you in the next episode.
Goodbye, everyone. Take care of yourselves.